PTP, positive thinking people. PTP, positive thinking people.
Real Talk Live with Dr. Rodney Grimes. People to people, power to power, positive thinking people. Yes, with Sir Rod and Lady Z. It's not about you, it's not about me, it's about we. In God we trust.
PTP, positive thinking people. PTP, positive thinking people. PTP, positive thinking.
Good evening, good evening, good evening. Welcome. As you know, this is how we go. It's Motivation Monday. I'm in the house, man. I'm excited. Like always, just coming to you as people to people, power to power, positive thinking people. Y'all know what I be doing. I be coming to you. I bring you nothing but the real deal. No trauma, no drama. We just be having a good time. So guess what? I got blessed today. I got two soldiers up in here, man. They, for real, a lot of people thought that I made them pictures up that I put out some while ago or whatever, but now I'm letting y'all know it's the real deal. They up in here. So I like to welcome Leslie Shepard and Brian Mitchell into the house.
Yes,
What's up, fellas?
What's up? How you doing, bro?
I'm good, man. Much respect, man. Here we are, man. I'm another day above ground.
Mm-hmm.
Another day above ground. This is the only thing that really been getting me right. Once y'all have established yourself, how is it on a daily basis? Do you get to go to the bathroom without being bothered or go to the Walmart?
Well, for me, it's like you want to be in a public eye. You work all your life to be in a public eye, and then you get there. Most of the people don't want to be bothered. Well, that's a part of it. You know, I think people have to learn how to deal with the whole aspect of it. It's not just the praise. It's the downtime. If people want to talk to you, things of that nature. And I'm from Louisiana, so, you know, we'll talk to a stop sign. So it doesn't make a difference. So I'm telling you, when we go places, that boy, that man talk to everybody. I'm like, listen, man, if they want to talk, I'm going to talk. Because as long as somebody want to talk, you can keep making some money.
Hey, I ain't look at it like that. That's good.
That part. I'm a little different, man, when it comes to that. Like, for real, honestly, like, it all depends how you approach me. Like, if you approach me genuine, some people, they be really out of pocket. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. They stare at you. They don't say nothing. You know what I mean? It all depends on how you come at me. If you come at me proper, then I'm going to always show you love. But sometimes, you know, I don't really feel like being bothered. But this dude right here, he don't care. But me personally, it's just about how you come to me. If you come to me properly, then we going to chop it up or whatever the case may be. Sometimes people come at you crazy, man, to say, you know, I'm a Dallas fan, or, you know, they don't really know what to say out their mouth when they see you, right? Or they, you know, they look at you and they know you look familiar. They can't place the face with what you did. So, you know, but it comes with the territory. Like he said, it's a part of it, man. We professional athletes, man. We was blessed to play professional sports, so that comes with the territory.
See, I think what a lot of people forget is that y'all have a regular life.
True.
You know what I'm saying? So whenever they approach you, a lot of times they don't know what you're doing at the time when they come up to you.
Totally.
So that's the part that really gets me.
I've kind of developed this mindset because as much as I mind talking to people, I can be very volatile. I can be very rude. So I make sure when I'm in that mood, I don't leave my house.
Okay.
Because I've always told people, if you're going to leave your house, you got to make sure you're in that mood because somebody's going to talk to you.
Okay.
And you never know who you're going to piss off. So but my thing is, if I'm sitting there with my family at dinner, you have to wait till I'm finished with my family at dinner. For a kid that I see as a little kid, it's really about what he wanted. I may break that rule. But for an adult, I am not breaking that rule. Because when you're with your kids, I'm not bothering you. Yeah. So I just think that, like Shep said, the way you approach people, you have to give me the same level of respect you want.
Yeah.
You know, I tell people, like, I know people who would always make a comment about, I pay your salary. No, you paid to see me perform. You don't pay my salary. You don't make enough money to pay my salary. And I think that's what a lot of fans have to understand. When you tell somebody that, that's the most disrespectful thing you can do in the world. Oh, I pay your salary. You owe me. I don't owe you nothing. I played football. I tried to score a touchdown. I tried to win. That's what you paid me for. You didn't pay me to be able to come up to me and interrupt me anytime you want.
Yeah, that's the entertainment aspect.
Yeah,
that's
it.
Yeah.
And I want to put it out there, let y'all know something. No, this is not Shannon Sharpe, but we in here relaxing. So y'all see, when they was told me they was coming in and sitting down with me, hey, we got in relax mode. So just let y'all know, I don't want nobody out there tripping and thinking I'm trying to promote anything to blow, blow the cover or whatever. Because half of them will see me on Sunday. I'll be in here.
That part,
praying and some other thing, but I keep it real. So y'all know that's what we do at the People to People podcast. We keep it real.
Yes, sir.
So again, though, now that y'all have got to this level in your life, right? I mean, have you just woke up one day and just really look back at yourself and say, "Man, I made it"?
Well, for me, honestly, if I could go back and do it all over again, honestly, I would take more time to appreciate what I was doing. But it's until you actually been in the professional sports, regardless if it's baseball, football, basketball, you got to be so locked in, right? You got to be focused on, polishing your craft and trying to get better and making sure these young dudes ain't coming in taking your spot. So it's hard to really appreciate it, right? Because you be so locked in, at least for me, right? I always tried to be the best I could possibly be at my job. You know what I mean? It was a dream of mine to play. So even if I didn't like my coaches, I didn't like the system, I was never going to come to practice out of shape. I was never going to walk in the huddle not knowing what I was supposed to do. So I was always mentally and physically prepared. But if I could go back and do it all over again, I would take some time to really appreciate it. Because now, as a retired NFL guy, I watch stuff and I get chill bumps sometimes when I see guys celebrate and do certain things. If somebody's mother's dead or somebody's child passed away or they had some tragedy in the family and they have success, I was like, man, those are moments that, you really, you kind of miss when you play because you be so, you got those horse blinders on and you kind of locked in. But if I could do it all over again, I would kind of like try to appreciate it a little bit more. You know what I mean?
I'm with him. I think when you're playing, you can't think about what was and what is.
Okay.
I read a book called The President say, you have to be doing everything you can right now. Learn from what you did, wrong or good, so you can live out what you want to live out, but you got to invest it into now.
Right.
And I think the ultimate thing for me was I did that as well. But like now, whenever the good thing for me is I have 4 kids. I have grandkids. Chef has his grandkids too. And I think that might be our biggest accomplishment right there because the grandkids, boy, that's a different level of love.
Yeah.
But when my daughters, I have 2 daughters that work in sports, or my son was living in California one time, when they come back and say, man, so-and-so was talking about you did this, this, and this, it makes you feel good that, yes, they now understand because let's be real, when we were playing, we wasn't at home.
Yeah.
We were out doing stuff, and the wives had to take care of most of the stuff.
That part.
You know what I'm saying?
That part.
And we're gone, but I think what they now see and the things that they dealt with, they understand that it wasn't that we just wasn't there. We were trying to provide something. And I think for me, listen, man, watching my son and my 3 daughters excel and watching my grandkids, that does more for me than football. Football, listen, I tell people, like, God gave me a talent. From the day I came out the womb, I had that talent. And once I realized that talent around 6, 7 years old, my dad was a military dude. And he said, what you want? That's a professional athlete. And this dude woke me up like 6 o'clock in the morning, took me to the left. And he had me running and stuff. And he said, when you do this by yourself, I'm going to know you're serious. And about 10 years old, I woke up one morning, I was gone. Right. I'm running the levee. And my mama couldn't find me, so he come look, boy, you got to let us know you do that. So you said when I do it by myself, you're going to know I'm serious. So I was serious early. So anybody I played with, they'll tell you, I didn't care how big you were. Strength, I wasn't going to be afraid that I tried to outdo you. But on that football field, you have to believe you're the baddest SOB out there.
Yeah.
Or you're not going to be there.
Yeah. And this is so funny, and I'm that you said that because, I've known Leslie all his life, right? And ever since he was 5 years old, I remember when he said he was going to be a professional football player.
Oh, wow.
Now, this is funny.
Right.
Many people saw you then, couldn't catch him. Threw the ball, he was catching the ball. He was doing all this.
Right.
And then it stayed in my head. And this is something that's really, really been an honor. And I can say this publicly, that you showed me something. When you put your mind to something, you can do it.
Yeah.
Because I remember you saying that when you was just a little boy.
Right.
And so, and then here, you know, your father said that to you. And then one day they look, you up there running up.
Oh, yeah.
You doing it. That's because y'all believed in your dream.
Right.
You went after it. You made it happen. I want to say this to any viewers out there too. I always try to take the time to just bring the viewers in and get them to get involved. That's something that you can take and use to your benefit as well. These gentlemen just told you the formula, you know, and that's believing in yourself and following your dream. So anything that you can conceive, you can achieve. And there's many of you out there that are striving to do that. So, you know, kudos to what y'all have done. Y'all set the way for many people, like many other people have.
Right.
But for y'all to be able to say this at a young age, make it happen.
Yeah.
And then you now set that tone for your grandkids.
Yeah.
What is it like, though?
Well, I mean, man, being a pop-pop is right. Like, being a pop-pop is everything to me because I got girls. Now, I got an older grandson, but he's older now. You know, he into different things. He in high school and things like that. But the girls is different for me because I had all boys. So I was a disciplinary and I was like, you know, I've been no break type mentality. Now
he done soft up on.
I got little handprints on my TV.
Oh my God!
Man, they running on a sofa. They doing what they eating in the family room. They violate everything. And what you don't know about young ladies, right? If you raise men, little boys, young ladies, like they way more smarter than men. Like they calculate what they're gonna say. They so smart, man. Like they manipulate me. Like
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they go to my wife and then they ask her something. She say no. Then they come back with me and ask me, and I
you go say yes.
Yeah, and not telling me that, you know. So they get me in trouble with my wife. They get me in trouble with their parents. I'll be like, man, come on now. Pop, let me have sugar. I'm like, hold on, man. They tell you that. You know what I mean? So. But you know, man, I wouldn't trade it for the world, man. Being a pop is everything to me, man, because you know that's my legacy. You know, what I mean, my kids and my grandkids.
Any one of y'all have now? I know, both your boys played.
Right.
Did you have anyone to follow you and try to?
Well, now my son at 12 years old quit playing football. My son grew up in Louisiana with his mom, and he said, "Dad, I'm quitting playing football." I said, "What?" He said, "Yeah, man." He said, "Everybody want me to be Brian Mitchell. I want to be an architect." And I'm serious. He floored me, not because he said he wasn't playing football. My dad boxed in the military. He never taught me any box. Never taught me to go to the military. Because if somebody hit my face, I'm going to grab back. And if I had to go to the military, I don't think I can listen to nobody tell me what to do all the time.
Right.
But when my son told me that, I'll say, why? I said, what you want to do? He said, I want to be an architect. My son now does robotics. And I was like, okay, you're going to be an architect. So when he hit about like 13, 14, he hit 9th grade, when he had to start doing, I bought everything you can get to be an architect. Like, you know, you got all your stuff here, you do this. He had everything he needed before he needed it. Because I'm like, okay, that's what you want to do, we're going to do that. Right. He said, you're not mad? Why should I be mad? And I am more proud of him for accomplishing what he decided he wanted to do than anything in the world. But my daughters, all three of them, athletic as hell. Yeah. You know, dance, cheer, gymnastics, and they were into it. Like, that's why I say 2 daughters working in sports. That makes me feel good because they picked it up. Now, Bria, who she went to school with Khalid early on when they were young kids.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So I went to see her do a cheer competition one time, and Monica never told me what. And
I know that. Yeah.
She never told me what Bria was doing. So I show up to a meet one day, and the thing starts up, and they throw this kid in the air like 35 feet in the air, flip, land. I'm like, who the hell was that? He's like, that's your daughter. And when she got there, I said, well, you can't be doing that. If I was your son, you wouldn't say that to me. And it puts stuff in the perspective. I'm like, you know what? If she's going to be an athlete, she's going to be an athlete. And I got to live by it.
Yeah.
And she broke her shoulder when she was in 9th grade. Maya got a concussion. Leah got a concussion. They all had these injuries, but my first question was always, you going to go back? Mm-hmm. And when they said yes, I knew they loved what they were doing, and I pushed that. You know, I know people will say, wow, you know, your daughters. Yeah, my daughters, I treat them, I want them to be understand, daddy love you, you're a little dainty, but you know what? If you choose this sport, you got to be as rough as the boys out there to get it done.
So I watched this movie called Spartacus. You ever seen it?
Yeah.
I heard about it.
I've seen Spartacus.
Okay,
yeah.
so you know it's
like Gladiator.
It's like Gladiator, right?
Yeah.
You know what it always make me think about? Y'all on the football field.
Right.
Because not everybody can go out there in the arena.
Right.
You know,
right.
Everybody talk about it.
Yeah. You know, and this is funny,
sport, especially when we play. Yeah.
I remember you somebody used to say, man, Shep, he dangerous, man, because he'll go across the middle. And I remember
I never understood why people would say that. That's my job. But anyway.
But one time
I don't like to do it. They were like, Shep, I like you, but you like to go across the middle. No, I don't. No call to play. Yeah. I signed it down the line. I gotta go get that rock. You know what I mean? Like,
But
send me outside.
I remember one time you did and you got hit.
Right.
And I know when I talked to you later,
Yeah.
I asked you what was it like, and you said it was like running into a brick wall.
Yeah.
And I thought about it and I said,
yeah.
I can't imagine what it was like after a game, and I'm talking about a rough game, right?
Right.
And then you got to go back and give 100% the next time,
Yeah.
without fear.
Yeah.
And that's the thing about it. You have to psychologically manipulate yourself to where, like I said earlier, you have to believe you're the best out there. You can't fear anything. I've never returned punches and kicks in my life till I got to the NFL. And I used to always say, looking in the air to do your job, that's got to be the stupidest thing in the world. I started doing it, and I made myself love it.
Yeah.
Because the thing of it is, if you fear being hit, you will never, ever reach the pinnacle of what you want to do. And, you know, I watched him when he got his dislocated elbow, broken wrist. And I watched the dude work out and train. I remember when Jaden got hurt, I had him come on my radio show to discuss the pain. He's like, man, it was tough. But it just shows you, like, the average person who always talk about, just get back on the football field, they don't understand for the life of, they don't understand a clue about how much you go through. You see a guy get an ACL, he's back playing in 8 months, sometimes the most in a year. The average person is limping 5 years later, 2 years later. When Shep dislocated his elbow and broke his wrist, they would have never been back as quick as he was back. I played games, like I had 2 shoulder separations on each shoulder and missed games because of that. I played, 14 years, missed 1 game. And people look at that, oh man, no. That's an accomplishment.
That's an accomplishment.
I played through some stuff, but the ultimate thing is, man, you have to be a little crazy.
Yeah.
To play this game of football.
Look, it's almost like a guy in a boxing ring, right? He get his nose broke.
Right.
It's the 5th round. He just got his nose broke. He got 12
10 more rounds to go. Right. Yeah.
What do he do?
Yeah.
Do he ball up or do he suck it up?
Yeah.
He try to protect that nose a little bit more, but what happens when you get pain? It immediately, kind of like you go to like a thing where you can't feel it anymore. Everything, when something hurt, you get to a point where you don't feel it. You just got to go through it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's something that for real is more psychological than people can imagine.
Yeah.
That what y'all go through. Yeah. And that's the other thing that I wanted to ask too. Now that both of y'all are retired, do you find yourself like yearning for that adrenaline?
Yeah, you have to overcompensate. So you have to find something to feed that hunger.
Place.
Right?
Okay.
Right? You do. And it could be golf, it could be bike riding, it could be weights, it could be cardiovascular stuff, it could be, yoga. People have all kinds of things. Me personally, trust me, man, it's hard to maintain that, but I find things to try to overcompensate for that adrenaline. It's never going to match that, but riding bikes and doing some things where you can compete and control that competitive drive is beneficial. That's for sure.
So for me, I think I compete at everything. If you start talking about If you start talking about how you cook something, I'm gonna try to cook better than you the next day. The bicycle, when we got involved with this bike riding now, I don't think I ever thought I'd be riding a bike, but
Right.
I
With
was
the tights, all that, the bike tights, all that.
250 pounds, and
Yeah.
I had to do something to lose weight. Now
Right.
I'm not about the running anymore and all that crazy
Yeah.
stuff. I started riding bikes and play golf, and I'm trying to be the best at it. I may never be the best, but I have a desire to try to be the best.
Yeah.
Because when you play ball, whether you became the best or people say you were the best, you have to do everything you can to try to get there.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think that's the ultimate thing where, and it's like, let's be real, even with the grandkids and the kids, where you're trying to make sure they know you're doing everything you can to provide them a great life.
Yeah.
That's still a part of that.
Yeah.
I tell you, I mean, I look at you now when you sit back also. So when I was in the Marine Corps, it was funny. It was a certain type of mentality we had, right? Mm-hmm. And now the young Marines don't act like the old Marines. You know?
Right.
They don't have the respect. They don't have that drive and stuff. Is it the same in the football and the NFL?
I would say it depends on the individual.
Yeah, there you go.
Right. It depends on the actual player. Some players have respect for veterans, and some players like, man, y'all, the game is past y'all back. So it all depends on the individual. But you get some people they feel themselves because they make more money than us now. They bigger, stronger, faster than we were. But in hindsight, when we was in the league, the guys in the 80s, guys in the 70s, they used to say the same thing. So I try to give the younger generation grace because I know what it's like to be, the younger generation, the old dudes talking. I don't force myself upon people. If a dude come to me and say, "Chef, listen, man, I was a fan of yours. I went to H.D. Woodson, went to Maryland, and I played for the Skins, and you inspired me when you played, let's link up." So dudes like that, I show love, especially local cats. You know what I'm saying? Because there's very few from the DMV that was making it to the professional ranks when I played. Now, DMV represent everything, sports, everything. So, but back in my day, it was different. But I try to, if they engage me, then I will, kind of give them some tidbits. But for the most part, I don't force myself upon nobody. Be like, look, man, y'all need to do, because I get, what I'm saying? I'm a kind of person, I understand what it's like to be in that lane. You ain't really trying to hear no whole lot of nothing. You locked in, you want, you trying to be the best you can possibly be, and you make a little bit more money now and all that kind of stuff. But at the end of the day, man, I mean, come on. We all the same fraternity. We all did the same thing. We had to all accomplish the same thing. So, it depends on the individuals.
Well, you know what I do? I get pissed at them sometimes.
I know you do.
Because, I was in the union, and a lot of the money they make, not because they're that good. They make it because we fought for it.
That part.
Okay. So my thing is, I'm just like him in a sense where I'm not going to force myself upon you. But when I'm on the TV and they ask me my opinion, I'm going to give my opinion.
Right.
And I'm not going to give my opinion and be afraid.
Right.
So my thing is if you're not going to listen to me, why do I have to say something to please you? My job is to give my opinion about what I saw at the moment. And I'm not doing it to be, negative or whatever. But if you're not doing something, if I see a guy catch a ball on a punt return and he never gets upfield, he's running side, I think, no, that's not how you get it done. You don't score runs to the sideline.
Right.
So I would say, well, if he puts his foot in the ground and get upfield, and I got younger, well, what do you know? I said, well, check your history. The thing is, a lot of, in this day and age, young people have every tool in the world to know everything under the sun. They don't use it.
Right.
They just want to say, their excuse is always, you just, you're mad, you this, you that. No, I'm not mad. Because what I did, a lot of stuff I had to still stands.
Right.
Yeah.
And I didn't have the resources.
Yeah, I didn't have those resources.
Right.
And let's remember, I didn't return kicks I got to the league. So I learned how to do this thing on the job training. And I just want them to understand, listen, man, it's not that we bash. The same thing I do with my kids. If you want to accomplish something and you aren't, and I'm trying to tell you you could do this to help you out or do a little bit more to get where you want to go, and you get mad at me, how in the hell do you think you're going to get there? You have to put the work in. And too many times players They don't put the work in.
Mm-hmm.
And they accept to be given. And it's not just sports. I know a few people in the media where I work now. They like few guys. He said to make the comment was, "Man, y'all don't have to do all this extra stuff that I do." I'm like, I've been in the media longer than you've been living.
Right.
What makes you think you're on my level right now?
Okay.
And this is not me trying to one up you. This is facts.
Yeah.
When I got to the league, I didn't tell Ernest Biner I should be like you. I listened to everything he did. I wrote down his moves, I numbered his moves, and I imitated everything he did. When he was working out on one field, I was on the other field. Coach Gibbs saw it. Because I was trying to get where he's at. How the hell am I telling him what to do? And that's the problem too many young kids. They want to tell you how to get it done when you've already walked it.
Yeah.
You know, we all, like, we when our parents tell us to do something, we're like, oh, man, tell us that. But when you get a little older, you realize they were trying to make sure you had a shortcut.
That's right.
And these older dudes, these younger dudes, they could have a shortcut. Yes, you make more money because times have changed.
Yeah.
You know? And if I put some inflation on the money I made as much as you make.
Yeah. Come on.
You know what I'm saying?
Hey, back a few years ago, man, a gallon of milk was almost $3.
That part.
You know what I'm saying? So we're in a whole different different time. And a lot of times
economic climate has changed.
It's changed
dramatically. Yeah.
It's changed. Yeah. And that makes us also respond differently, you know, just on a daily basis. Yeah. And outside of that, y'all doing what you do, I mean, on a daily basis, how are y'all moving along with just looking at society where it is, you know? And I'm saying this, I don't like it to make it a race thing, but I like it to be real. Yeah. And so we looking at right now, here in America, how do you feel as far as like when you're moving around? Do you feel your freedom? Do you feel you're part of this struggle?
I understand those who say they don't, but people die for me to get mine. And I'm gonna let you not let me live it. But I also understand in certain moments I gotta get home to mine. You know, sometimes you gotta put your pride aside just for that moment to get home. And they say, what was it, Bobby Boucher?
Right.
And the boy must say, live to play another day.
Yeah.
Live to live another day. Yeah. And get home to your family and regroup so you can come out of a different way, because yes, things are they're not cool.
Yeah.
Okay, I know we just celebrate 250 years, this, that, and the other for this country, but you know what? It ain't for everybody.
Right.
And I think people have to understand sometimes we get this stuff in a different way. You know what I'm saying? And I'm smart enough to understand at 57 years old, some of the same things my mom and my grandparents were talking about, I'm still discussing with my kids. So I just say to most races, don't knock, listen.
Yeah.
And then compare some stuff. And you'll realize that, okay, this stuff is not moving like we say it is or what other people are saying it is. We have to make sure, because I say this, I have friends, all types of people. My thing is, if you just being complicit, you are part of the problem. Mm-hmm. Sometimes you got to say something. It ain't just about us.
Yeah.
Somebody else got to say something as well.
I remember, Chef, you said something that I talked about a change. Something you told me a while back. I remember you said somebody had cut you off or something, and you said you gave him a pass.
Right. You know what, man? I remember that. But you know what? So that's a broad subject, the climate of the country, right? So to be honest with you, I tried. What you talking about is I try to, like, I heard my pastor say this once, right? So it's a difference between being happy and having joy, right? So being happy is circumstances, right? You know, the right situation, the right people, the right friends. And joy is something you choose, right? And circumstances might not be always good, right? Things might not be going the way you wanted to go, but you want to have peace of mind, right? When you get to a certain age, that's all you want. I just want peace of mind. I don't want no drama, right? But what I won't do is I won't treat Hispanics like white folks treated black people. I won't look at Hispanics like they taking all the jobs or they don't deserve to be here. I treat people how they treat me, right? If you a grinder, if you black, no matter what your race is, if you a go-getter, you're a go-getter, right? I see Hispanics busting their tail every day, right? So I'm never gonna knock nobody trying to make a living for them and their family. I didn't see, you know what I mean? So I'm not gonna have a problem with Hispanics coming to this country, none of that, right? The climate of the man in the White House, I don't want to get into that.
Right.
Like, he don't respect humanity.
Right.
Right. But what I try to do right by my family, right? Hustle, grind, do what I do, and try to keep joy in my life. Because if I don't, like I said, road rage, a person couldn't say nothing to me. They do know. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I would snap, crackle, and pop on somebody in a minute, just based on your temperament. But now, in my older age, obviously because of when I went through, with my whole knee surgery and stuff like that, when I got that pass, right, I try to look at things from a positive perspective. Like, don't let the little things affect me. And I was just so irritated by certain things, you know what I'm saying? And my wife might have be like, well, you got to work on that with us. But you know what I'm saying? But I try to look at things from a positive perspective, because you can turn on the news, right? And it's all negative. Like, it ain't nothing. They ain't talking about nobody doing nothing positive. We shooting, we stealing from, they got curfew for teenagers, and parents ain't good, and then they trying to lock parents up. Like, so everything is negative, right? Social media is negative. Like, you know what I mean? Or smoke and mirrors, right? So I try to focus on God woke me up this morning, right? I got a car to drive. I got a roof over my head. I got food on the table. You know what I'm saying? The climate might not be the way I want the climate to be, but it's somebody doing a lot worse than me, right? So I try not to harp on the negative and focus more on the positive, and try to just keep pushing, you know what I mean? Because you only get one life, you know what I mean? Yeah. So you get to a certain age and you realize, man, you know what? Some of this stuff ain't really worth, you know what I mean, my time. You know, you know what I mean? You gotta go out and get it, man. You know what I mean? So that's what I try to. That's my approach. Not to say it always happen. Right. Some days I wake up and I still be like, this right here. Why did you try to make a left turn from the right lane? Like certain things like that. But I try to stay in the joy lane opposed to
It's like people's social media. Just like when I was young, cartoons.
Right.
My dad always say, "What you seeing ain't real. You can't drop an anvil on somebody that nigga think. That's restless. I hit a guy in the head 5 times with a chair. He don't believe. And he shows up the next day. Now, if I really hit you in the head with a chair, you're not waking up.
Yeah, smoke.
You have to realize it's real.
Yeah, that part.
See, there are a lot of people, a lot of classes of people, a lot of races of people, a lot of people who live a lie. Okay? One thing about me, I'm going to pay attention. When I go to a bar, I normally get over here where I can watch everything in the club so I can know what's going on.
Right.
But I'm watching people. I watch the stories you tell, and then I watch how you live.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people who try to act like everything is great in their life.
Right.
And it's not just one race, two races. Everybody in every race does this. So my thing is, like, I know what I've accomplished, and I know how I'm living.
Yeah.
I know how a lot of my friends living, and I see that they have done way more than expected. And that's why their kids have the opportunity to go through the things that they do. I watch other folks who are trying to live the lie, and then I see how stressful they are.
Yeah.
Okay? And my thing is,
keeping
listen,
up with
bro,
the Joneses, man.
Listen, I know what people try to present, but I met some of the best people in the world from all types of places.
Yeah.
In all types of situations. Because like he stated, I give people the industry they give me.
Yeah.
And let's be real. I know what the Bible says. Bible, Jesus also died because I'm not going to always be perfect.
That part, yeah.
So I'm not going to turn the cheek 100% of the time.
You
have to turn your damn cheek one time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because if I keep doing it, you'll never learn from yours.
Yeah.
But if I turn your cheek one time, then maybe you're going to learn. And I just think that's the way where I let all my people understand, listen, I'm the nicest dude in the world. I'm nice, I'm cordial, but I'm going to defend me and mine.
Brian say, every now and then he got to turn the cheek for him.
Yeah, that part. Yeah, that part.
But it's just like,
speaking your truth though, can be that way. Yeah. People can take it as you aggressive.
No, but
you controversial. But you speak your mind. I have more respect for somebody to look me in my face and say, I don't really like you. You know what I mean? There's somebody be like, you know what, you one of my guys, but they really not my guy, right? you might not appreciate that, but I like people to be on a firm ground with me.
Yeah.
Like, as long as you straight up, man, come on, man. Show me your colors and I'm gonna believe who you are. And that's the kind of person I am, man. You know what I mean? So I try to I try to balance the scales, man. You know what I mean? Like people know Al Kirk. Like I'm gonna speak my mind. That's the reason why me and him is tight, because we so much alike, you know what I mean, in so many ways. Like, you know what I mean, this is what you get. So I'm like, come on, man, don't come at us wrong. You know what I mean? And in so many ways, you're the same way too.
Yeah.
So you understand that too, man. But it's just it's unfortunate that the world that this younger generation is in now, when they have so many resources that they access, even people that we really like, and we be trying to pull a coat. Yeah. And they still be like, feeling like, oh, I got you. Like, nah, you really ain't taking heed to what I'm saying. Like, you got potential. You could be doing so much more. But I still give them grace because I was that young dude where people tried to tell me the same thing. You know what I mean? So I understand, you know, like, they young. Like, when somebody cut you off or they speeding and doing stuff in traffic, you be like, man, that's got to be somebody in their 20s. You know what I mean? Like, you know, when you're in your 20s, that's when you do crazy stuff. So I try to give them youngest, man, a pass, girls and guys. You know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day.
We drive faster than the guys.
Come on, man. We're not even going to talk about that. Women are way tougher than the dudes now. But anyway, that's a whole nother thing.
That's crazy.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, you know what I mean? I tried to be more open. I just didn't have no cut card when I was younger. Like, that was just me, my way or whatever. Now I'm a little bit more flexible. I try to give people passes and stuff like that. I don't take offense to what people say, because honestly, people are entitled to their own opinion.
Yeah,
that's the problem with us as a society. We get offended by somebody's opinion. You might not agree with that, but they're entitled. I mean, like, somebody can speak their truth. It might not be their real truth, but if that's what they believe, then why we can't have an articulate conversation about something that we disagree about, opposed to us being like, "What you say? Yeah, Barack did what?" You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? So like that's the part that I'm learning to navigate a little bit, and he's good at it. But I'm still like, what did he say? He'd be like, "Shep, I ain't pay that no mind." I said, "Man,
you can learn from everybody."
Yeah. I'll be like, "Man, I'm glad you, man, listen, man." You know what I mean? But he will say this though. He was the one dude, right? When we was younger, we played. That he would be like, "Look, Shep, I got an appearance. You know, it's on the 4th of July. There's gonna be Confederate flags and all that." I was like, "Nah, I ain't doing that." He was like, "Man, they paying us $5,000, Shep." And I was like, well, "Okay." But now I get it. When I was young, I was like, I'm baby Malcolm X, man. I ain't doing none of that. But he was networking. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's not a race that don't love B. You know what I'm saying? Black, white, and they could be all Trump supporters. But in his presence, you know what I'm saying? And I ain't talking no OJ, none of that shit. Right. I'm just talking about genuine humanity. Like when somebody is authentic with you, right? Because a lot of celebrities you don't get to touch them. I mean, we talk about bona fide celebrities. You don't get to walk up and have a conversation with them and stuff like that. It's very rare, right? So when you meet somebody, like, and a lot of times people say you don't want to meet your heroes because they will disappoint you, right? But that's not the case with B. You know what I mean? I've watched him move in those circles with people, and I've learned from that. You know what I mean? That's something I said I've learned to grow how to network and navigate around people that don't look like me, that don't believe the same things I believe, and things of that nature. So that's something he learned at a young age, and it took me some time to realize, but I give him credit for that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, please, we done been in stuff now, and I'm like, man, the homies can see me now. You know what I mean? But you know what I'm saying? We networking and people cool, and I don't have no problem with them, man. You know what I mean? So I was just so militant when I was young, man. It's so one-sided, you know what I mean? And B helped me with that, like shatter that a little bit and be like, man, listen, man, there's a lot of money over there on that other side, you know what I mean? Or a lot of, a lot of people we can, they can benefit, you know what I mean? Like, so I don't get caught up in people's beliefs because they're entitled, and I used to feel some kind of way about that, but it's all about how you was raised and the things that you was brought up with, you know what I mean? I grew up in a militant household, so I know about Malcolm, and I know about Kwanzaa, and I know about stuff. You know what I mean? Like, I used to tell kids when I was young, Santa Claus don't exist. Right. And they used to be like, people in my family used to get mad. Like, don't bring Leslie around our kids telling them that Santa Claus don't exist. I'm like, ain't no chimneys in apartments. Like, what chimney? I ain't even got no chimney. You know what I mean? But I'm just listening to my pops. You know what I mean? Like, how my pops is. Like, he kept it a buck. You know what I mean? So, and I had to learn how to, like, channel that. Like everybody ain't raised like you, Shep, and and your opinion ain't always facts. That's just your opinion. You know what I mean? Somebody don't always have to believe that. So I've learned a lot from him when it comes to how to navigate around different races and different creeds and stuff. So yeah.
But I've learned, like, I listen, I pay attention to everything around me, and I never shut off anyone that may say. They may say something that may spark something. And I've had my ups and downs with Steve Harvey. You know, I sometimes he's saying stuff that I love. Sometimes I'm like, what is this fool talking about? Like when he wrote the book, I'm like, why would I listen to him? He every marriage he had failed. So,
right.
But he said one day, other people's opinion is not your business, and it hit me. I'm like, okay, cool, because when somebody don't know you say something about you, and we lose our mind.
Right.
Why do you give a damn about what he thinks?
He
don't know nothing about you either.
Right.
You know, and I have learned to live based off of that comment, and I changed my mindset of Stephen Goodbit. You know, because of simply that. Because I'm like,
I gave him a pass too. He went to a Trump joint, and I was like, oh, and come on, man.
I had to give him a pass on the air one time too because of some things that they have told.
But he straddled that line. You know what I mean? I had to give Jay-Z a pass. Like, there's certain people that's navigating and see, you know, when you look at like historical history figures, you know, and you look at him, you be like, man, he was an Uncle Tom.
Yeah.
Right? But when you look at his whole story, you was like, well, he opened so many doors for black people.
Go. Yeah.
Right.
He was the one to walk through that door when somebody said he couldn't go in.
So I'm hesitant before I call a person Uncle Tom. I used to be like, you know, but it's actually harder. My dad taught me this, to turn the other cheek, right, than it is to stand up for yourself. Like anybody can snap. You know, Dad said, stop reacting and respond, right? Respond properly, and when you react, you ain't thinking, right? So my dad taught me a lot of things when it comes to stuff like that, but I was so one, and Bill tell you, like, you couldn't say, like, he used to be like, Chef, come on, man. Like, he'll see it in my mentality. He'd be like, I already know. He was like, come on, Chef.
If somebody say something, I knew when they said it what was going to happen. Yeah, like, don't worry about that.
Yeah, man. Like,
you start putting the fuse out before it even light up.
This is the thing. People see teammates, and I've always felt when you play football with somebody, you're around them long enough, you pass that teammate crap. You become family.
Yeah.
And what do you do for family?
Yeah.
You want to help family grow. You want to help them benefit. You want to do good things for them. And like me, Shep, and Terry Allen, and, you know, Stephen Davis, guys like that, when we get together today, you think we still playing football together. You know, like guys that say, man, the guy goes to the other team. And like I said on radio all the time, if I'm his friend, I don't care if he go play for another team, I'm still his friend.
Yeah.
You know, they act like you got to be
in the locker room. He's trying to
support his locker room together every day to be somebody's friend. Right. No, I went to Philly, met Deuce Staley. Me and Deuce Staley, we like me and Shep.
Yeah.
Because you care for each other, man. My thing is, when I played ball, I played as hard as I did because, yes, one, my family, the paycheck was after all this.
That part.
Family, pride.
Yeah.
My
we
boy,
play for
I got to go out there.
The
money came later.
Yeah, we didn't play.
But my thing is always,
it's hard to say that to people. Yeah, they be like, whatever.
If you love it and you good at it, the money will come.
Right. Yeah.
The guys that go play for the money, all of a sudden when it gets hard, they quit.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But you got to have some level of love, and I say that because there are guys in this day and age that still play. They play like the guys from the old days.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But there are some guys that they out there just for that check.
Yeah, soft as cotton. Yeah.
You know,
but they're a product of their upbringing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm sitting here because and just reminiscing, thinking, and I listen to what people say.
Mm-hmm.
I always tell people I'm a thief in the night.
Mm-hmm.
When you say something that makes sense, I'm gonna
steal it. Right? Yeah, that part.
You feel me? So
they call it biting. I call it being smart.
Yeah. So I'll listen to different things, and I've done that over the years. Even in the presence of y'all just having regular conversation, I'm listening.
Mm-hmm.
I'm 66 years old.
Mm-hmm.
I've been through a lot,
yeah.
Seen a lot. I know a lot of people.
Right.
But one thing I haven't done is taken life for granted.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I'm in the midst of all of y'all, I really, really pay attention to what's going on. Okay, wait a minute. I got to see something.
Yeah.
Can you help me, Lady Z? We got a question.
Yeah, questions. I know they come.
Yeah.
I know they come.
Can you help me? Because I'm not pulling it. Okay. Oh, I see it. It says, do you guys coach?
I used to. I don't. I not no more. I used to. You know, I didn't transition to real estate, but I used to coach. The problem with coaching for me is that in order for you to be successful, you gotta be all in, right? You gotta. I don't do nothing halfway. So you got to be locked in, and coaching takes a lot of time. And I had boys, like I said, and I wanted to see them play and live out their dream. So I stopped. And once I stopped, I kind of like never went back, you know what I mean? But I kind of stopped because I wanted to see my boys play. That was the only reason. But I enjoyed it. I mean, man, I miss it every day. You know what I mean? So just the camaraderie you have, just to engage the young men and try to help them become better men. You know what I mean? And seeing some of the characteristics you had as you was young and some of these young men. But I see a lot of my former players that went on to graduate and become teachers and coaches themselves. So I don't coach, but I used to, and I enjoyed it immensely. Man.
I would say I don't have a title as coach, but I think I coach.
Nah, he a coach. Because
on the radio, when I'm trying to say things because I believe my job is not to just inform and entertain. My job is to help and to educate.
Yeah.
And whether it's changes people's mindset or constantly discussing and being consistent about my work ethic. When I talk to my kids and now with the grandkids, and when I talk to high school students and college students and even guys in the league. So I would kind of say I'm a coach consultant because I get pleasure out of telling someone something and it helps their game.
Yeah.
I can remember a few years back where on the radio one day, I was like, listen, I'm an open book. And if there's anything I can help you with, reach out to me.
Mm-hmm.
And nobody was reaching to me on this team.
That part.
And Devin Hester reached out to me. Yeah. And I gave him a hint about how to do something, and he happened to score a touchdown against us. And people were like, why did you give him the example? Because he called me.
Yeah. The first returner ever to be elected in the Hall of Fame. So that's love.
And then Dan Quinn reached out and said, man, I want you to help these guys out. Mm-hmm. And Jalen Lane. Mm-hmm. I told JP, because JP was talking to his agent, I said, man, I would like to talk to that kid. That kid called me immediately.
Yeah, that's good.
And I try.
They don't always do that.
Yeah, they don't.
Not this generation.
So my thing is, I consider myself a coach to those who are willing to accept that part. Yeah. But I'm not trying to coach you if you're not trying to do it. Yeah. You know, because the serious ones, they're going to accept it. That part. And they're going to take the advice from the right people. So
that's true.
You know,
that's true. And it's rare.
Now, I'm not a coach. No. But I guess
you could be.
In a somewhere. Like, people always ask me like why I don't do it. I'm like, man, they go there at 7 in the morning.
Yeah, coach at
9, 10 at night.
Like I said, you
gotta play golf.
Yeah, you gotta be committed when you're a coach, man. It's a hard job, to be honest with you.
I'm trying to read these questions at the same time. And one of the questions was, will you ever go back to coaching? And the other one was saying something about I don't know why I'm not able to see this. Do you want to go back to coaching with the kids being so disrespectful right now?
Well, let me say this. So I will go back to coaching because my granddaughters are all bona fide athletes. 2 of them definitely won't pay for college. I know that for a fact. But that would probably get me out of my retirement for coaching. If I was coaching girls flag or girls track or something, girls softball or something of that nature. Because I'm so engaged with female sports and little girls now. But I would definitely go back if that was the case, if that situation came. Yeah. So
the disrespectful kids don't faze me.
That don't. That's parenting, man.
I think the problem is consistency.
Yeah.
That was disrespectful kids when I was young.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
With the coaches that were inconsistent.
Yeah.
But the coaches that were consistent in their message, we listened to them because we didn't see a wishy-washy mindset.
Yeah.
That's how I was in high school, college, pros. And I watch today, you look at some teams, their players don't do stupid stuff.
Yeah.
You watch other teams, their players
coaching matters
all the time.
Coaching matters to this day.
100%.
Yeah, coaching matters to this day.
So if you're going to coach, you have to be consistent. And you can't, like, people automatically assume that a player coach is a soft coach. No.
That's not
true.
true.
A player coach just knows how to make sure his guys get on the field and be fit and ready to go.
And players coach is really a title too.
Yeah.
Right? You know what I mean? So it's all about your coaching strategy. You know, Tony Dungy wasn't a yeller.
He was a players coach.
But he was a players coach.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you got some guys that was rah-rah in your face that was players coach. So it's all about the mentality of the individual. It ain't got, you know, people always try to label that based on if you engage your players and stuff like that. But that
I hear people with the breaking news. I hit them with Joe Gibbs didn't yell people.
Come on, man.
For all y'all that thought he was a yeller, no, he didn't. Yeah. The man never cursed, ever. I never seen him curse. I saw him raise his voice one time about 1990 when we were losing the game. He turned our oranges over. All we have is oranges and Gatorade, and we like, what the hell?
Right.
You know, when we were losing to him, we came back, destroyed him in the second half. Right. But he was the nicest man in the world. He just told you, listen, I expect you to do this. He said, I don't make rules until you break them. I'm like, Coach, if you don't make them, how are we going to break them? We say, well, if you do something you're not supposed to do, then that's breaking the rules. So he didn't yell, and everybody always they had like Coach Gill. He was a disciplinarian. No, he wasn't. He was a guy who treated you like a man and expected things. He was consistent with it. Mm-hmm. So when people are consistent, you follow suit. Mm-hmm. If people are changing back and forth, then you never know what the hell you're supposed to follow.
I was definitely a yeller, for the record, at every level. But I will say this though, my kids knew what they was doing. So, you know, when no matter if they was little league kids or high school kids or arena, when I coached in arena, they was crisp. They was flawless. You know what I mean? I was going to make sure that they had every tool they need and they were prepared for every situation. So I'm going to yell at you only when you not giving the maximum effort. I'm not going to ever yell at you for mistakes because those happen. But if it don't take no talent to give effort. So if you lacking in the effort part, then you cheating me. I shouldn't be invested more in this than you, right? I shouldn't care about this. Don't tell me you want to go to the NFL or you want to go Division I and you want to play in a Power 5 school and you ain't willing to do whatever it takes to win. So that's when I yell, when you wasn't giving that effort. But it didn't have anything to do with mistakes. You drop a ball or you miss a tackle or something like that. That happens. But you lacking, you supposed to be slot left and you slot right, or you supposed to motion left and you motion right, then that's a problem. You know what I mean? Because you ain't paying attention.
They're asking questions like, do you guys gather with the other players?
Like on the team?
Like current players or former players?
I think former players. I think that's what he said.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
We hook up and talk to each other a lot.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, sometimes it's impromptu. Sometimes it's stuff that is planned. Yeah. You know, guys around the league, you know, when you play, like they think we hate everybody we played against. But a lot of guys on other teams are your boys.
Yeah.
So when you see them, you're still connecting with them. We go to guys' golf tournaments. We go to other events guys may have. You know, so yes, it's a lot of connecting.
It's a fraternity, basically. Yeah. You know what I mean? First of all, anybody that know anything about being a professional athlete at any aspect, it's extremely hard to get to that level.
Yep.
So to get to that and then have a career and retire, you're going to always have love for your fraternity, regardless of who it is. Exactly. Even if it's people that you really didn't play with and didn't know. Mm-hmm. When you run into somebody or meet them for the first time, you be like, you know what, I know who you are. Much love, much respect for what you did and what you accomplished. So it's we definitely stay in touch with the fraternity of NFL dudes, man.
I just want to jump in and tell y'all real quick. Y'all know that we are on several different social medias. So some of the questions that's coming, please, I'm not ignoring you on purpose. I'm sitting here excited because I'm up here. I'm in a class myself. I'm listening here, absorbing as much as I can while I'm doing this. So I'm going to have Lady Z. When the questions come up, go ahead and just.
We can hear you. You perfect. That tone is perfect.
She's asking, what are you guys giving back to the community today when the youth are so disrespectful?
Well, first of all, there's a lot of different ways, whether it's mentoring, whether it's talking to you. Let me just say this. Like when it comes to the young generation, I don't really think it really changes. I just think if you talk to 30 kids, right? Then you sit down in front of a group of 30 kids and you give them your knowledge and your do's and don'ts, your pros and cons on success, right? If 2 of those 30 get it, then so be it, right? Everybody's not going to get it, right? Some people are just too immature to hear advice. Some people just don't know what it's like to receive love and receive encouragement. You talked about how successful we were and how we accomplished things. That's a lot because of the people that we was around, the people who loved us, supported our career. He told his dad he wanted to do certain things, and his dad said, go do it. I told y'all I was going to be a certain thing at a certain age, and y'all encouraged that and promoted that. So some people, you don't really know what these youngers are going through until you walk in their path. So when you go in front of a group of young men, you speak your truth, right? The people that's going to receive it is going to be people that are going to receive it. You can't really control who's going to receive it. It's going to be disrespectful kids, but that's part of their upbringing, right? They got parents that's disrespectful, or they got a mother that's on crack and left them, or they foster kid, or whatever the case may be. So you don't really know their story. But when you get in front of your kids, you got to be so transparent to them where you don't sugarcoat anything. And that's just my approach. I let them know that I'm no different from you. I come from these same streets, the same county. You know, I went to public school. I didn't go to no private school or nothing like that. I visualized something that I was going to do, and I set out to do it. So you can accomplish that. But when it comes to this generation, I just speak my truth. That's it. And if they receive it, so be it. If they don't, it's nothing I can really control.
Like for me, I work with multiple charities, and I'll tell people this. Charles Barkley said it back in the day, and people got pissed at him. He said, I'm not a role model. Right. You have to be the role model. In other words, he was saying, I know what he was saying. You got to be the role model.
Parents, coaches. Yeah.
People ask that question to athletes a lot. I can't fill the void that you may not be getting at home.
It's something that's in you.
I can help. I can try. I talk to kids all the time. I have people calling me to talk to their kids. I talk to groups. I do all this all the time consistently. Yeah. I work with all types of charities around here because I believe in it. To whom much is given, much is required. And I go out and I do it. Right. But the ultimate thing is the best information and advice they can get comes from their house.
Their household.
Okay. And if their household not giving it, you're a family member, you have to try to help out before you start putting that blame on somebody else.
And that I'm seeing it, of course, so I want to get a chance to say this now, but I wanted what you said is really important. See, a lot of times they're expecting y'all to be able to go in there and tell them their children.
You ain't got no magical dust.
Right. So they think because y'all made it in y'all feel that when y'all tell them something that it's going to change, but it starts at home.
It has to be constantly put into them. Like if there's a kid that lives in with their mom one time, they share back and forth. So they mom and dad divorced, and they're not together. So they stay with their mom a little bit and they go to dad. If the dad presents a certain way or the mom presents a certain way, and then the dad or the mom on the other side go completely opposite, that kid is not going to learn it. But if both of those parents, whether you're in the same house or not, you are constantly doing the same things, you will probably get a kid that's going to follow suit.
Yeah.
You know, so I would say this. Parents, whether you're with your husband, your man or your woman or not, think about the kid and not about being pissed off at the other person. Because if you are just going to be spiteful, it's going to hurt your kid. And you can't blame that and put that on nobody else. You know, the thing about me, like if there's an argument going on, my kids know. Don't ask me a question. If your mama said no, don't come ask me. Okay? Because what I'm going to do is say what your mama said.
Saying, hey,
okay? If mama said no,
it's no.
You know, I'm not going to just give it to you just because.
How do a professional athlete hold on to their sanity and mental health? Do they believe therapy is necessary with so much pressure today?
Well, I will say this. I'm not going to knock therapy, right? But I think the pressure comes, and I'm not saying it's not, guys, and I don't want people to misconstrue what I'm saying. I don't think that a lot of things that we call mental health now, when we was young, it was just everyday issues, right? So the kids today, right, if they all compete, right, there's no first, second, third. It's like everybody wins. You know what I mean? So you get to the real world, right? You get out to the real world, and you have to face issues and obstacles where people ain't rewarding everybody, right? It's either you good enough or you're not, right? And sometimes people take defeat and not being able to accomplish stuff as mental health issues. But I take it very, very seriously. I think if you feel like you need help, I don't think there's anything wrong with getting help. But I think a lot of that stuff starts with self, right? And understanding that anything in this world worth having don't come easy, and you ain't gonna always things ain't gonna always work out how you want them to work out. So I think again that starts at home. You know what I mean? Like I just believe that does. You know, my whole issue with doing things I wasn't supposed to do or being somewhere I wasn't supposed to be was based on my household, right? I wasn't worried about going to jail. I wasn't worried about being in the wrong place at the wrong time. I was just worried about my mother or my dad, the repercussions I was going to get from them. So I think everything starts, like B said, the foundation is the household. And if you set that foundation, wherever that individual goes, regardless if they're in a situation where they have to make a decision, they can fall back on the things that you instilled in them when they was young. And I just think that's where it starts. But I take mental health seriously, but I think a lot of it has to do with how we raise our kids today.
But I think
there's no failure.
You're right about that. And I think that every time someone fails, it's not a mental health issue.
No, it's not.
And I think what has happened today is a lot of those mental health professionals they make everything to mental health.
Yeah.
And a lot of parents make the excuse, and then kids are smart. If a kid know I say mental health,
right,
you gonna give them.
It was ADHD when we was young. You remember that?
So
yeah.
Everybody had ADHD when we was young.
There are tons of people who need it. Tons of people who have it.
You're not saying it's not issues.
You get it.
Yeah.
Everything.
No.
Everything is not.
No.
Like, I tell people
some of his life.
My rookie year, grandmother, grandfather, other grandfather, grandmother, aunt, favorite aunt, dad, and brother. 7 people killed died from February. My brother was killed from February to February. I lost 7 people.
365.
While I come up here, I got up here in April. It will destroy the average person. But I lived off of one thing. My dad said, control what you can control. So whatever, and I remember my
household. Go back to the household.
My aunt told me, she said, what you do brings the family together. Now I'm in the NFL. So my whole mindset was become the best at this. Bring the family together, make people proud. And my dad said, so now, when my dad passed away, it wasn't upon me that I got to take care of my mom. But no, I'm going to take care of my mom any damn way. My mama loved me, I love her. And I just tried to be the best I can be because I felt like I was still making them happy. And it was tough as hell. And I look back now and it kind of like, I'm like, dude, how the hell you got through all that? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It was tough. But the whole ultimate thing is life ain't easy.
It's not, man.
And we want everybody to think that life is easy. No, you're going to have some time where you have to think about how you gonna make that.
You're gonna be stressed. You're gonna be.
It's gonna happen.
You're gonna be backed in a corner. You're gonna be like, well, how am I gonna pay this bill? How am I gonna make these ends meet? You know, what I mean, I'm a teenager with kids. Like, you're gonna go through things, and if you don't have a support system, and I don't want people to think that I'm throwing mental health under the carpet. I'm just saying that, you know, it's about your foundation, about the support system that you have. And a lot of these youngsters don't really have that. You know what I mean? So, you know, and believe you me, I've talked to therapists, and therapists will talk to you and give you insight on certain things. But I mean, they're going to keep telling you to come back because that's their job. You know what I mean? Not to say they don't want you to help you or don't want, you know what I mean? But trust me, I understand.
You got to find the right one.
You got to find the right one. So it's not nothing wrong with it. But I think a lot of stuff, sometimes it's just like, listen, you're going to be bored. You ain't going to have a good day. You broke up with your girlfriend. I mean, like, some of these things is not mental health issues. Some of these things are life. Just be life.
It was a question here. I skipped over it. And so obviously they wanted me to come back and ask, what was the advice you could give to a teammate like Stephen Diggs? He has
Stephon Diggs.
Stephon.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, Stephon Diggs.
Mm-hmm.
He has been through so much lately.
Stephon, the thing for me is people say he's been through a lot, but he just, and I know people hate to hear this, he just went through somebody trying to extort him. That part. Okay. I would say be careful about who you bring into your circle. Because that story took its own legs.
Yeah.
That story, once it got into the court, the judge like, this is BS, basically.
Yeah.
Let's get this out of here.
Yeah.
And you have to be careful because the thing of it is, once you start making that level of money, it's no longer just the snakes outside running around. Agents are snakes. Mentors are snakes. The people you're talking to, these counselors and stuff, you're talking about therapists, a lot of them are snakes.
Yeah.
Because like John Thompson, I work with John Thompson, he said, listen, man, don't have a one-stop shop. Make sure you got somebody watching everybody. And I think that's the thing. First of all, people like to knock Jaden's mom. I applaud the hell out of Regina. Because who's going to look out for you more than anybody?
Your mom.
Your family.
Yeah.
Your mama for sure.
Yeah.
That woman she knows what's out there.
Yeah.
And women can knock her, men can laugh all you want. Because you know we've been in a club and there be people that, yeah, my man, let him show my man be me. Brother, I don't know you. No. Because if you go do something stupid, guess what people going to do? Come at one of us.
Right.
Get the hell away from me.
Yeah.
You have to be able to watch your circle.
Yeah.
Okay? And everybody that come in and say, I can do this, I can do that for you, check. Because I'm going to say, the NFL and NFLPA, they do background checks on everybody, on every business. They got FBI's watching everybody out there. Before you let somebody in your house working for you, make sure you know every damn thing about them.
If I can give anybody advice when it comes to that, it would be to tell your kids or your loved ones what they need to hear and not what they want to hear, right? Because a lot of times, I think these kids are getting NILs in high school, they're getting NILs in college, they making more than their parents is making, they ain't going to college, they ain't getting degrees and nothing like that, they just making this money. And the parents get caught up in that, right? What the child could do for me, how this going to benefit me moving forward. So instead of me being the devil's advocate and saying, listen, this is you moving the wrong way, don't trust this person, everybody just like whatever, you know, and then when it backfires, that's the result of that. So I think a lot of times you got to be open and honest with your child and your loved ones, even if they are the one that's the breadwinner. Yeah. You know, you look at R. Kelly, you look at Puffy, you look at all these dudes that had these people around them, right? And I know this ain't sports, but somebody had to look at him and be like, man, what you doing ain't right. But because you getting paid and because this the breadwinner, we allowing people to do whatever they want to do. And then when it blow up, everybody running for cover.
The major example, Mike Tyson. Say what you want about Cus D'Amato. Mike didn't mess up when Cus was dealing with it.
I know.
When Don King came in and was like, and all the people around, man, Mike, you the man. They can't beat you. Nobody corrected him. Nobody ever said anything. And he went off the rails.
And I don't know Diggs' parents. I don't never met him.
I
don't know nothing about his.
Mom,
I don't know none of that.
All
Diggs, I'm saying is, if you got a son as a first rounder and another son as a first rounder, and they buying you houses and cars and doing certain things, like trust me, man. You know, my dad. True story. I was All-American, prayed All-American in high school, all that. My dad didn't put none of this stuff on the wall. All met, all everything. When I made Scholar Athlete, it's a true story. I made a 3.0, right? He put that on top of the wall in the family room. That's the only thing he displayed. And I was like, really? That's what you know what I mean? I'm all, you know, but now that I'm older, I understand what he was trying to say. He was like, this is all that really matters, shorty, because you controlled that. That was something you did and nobody give it to you. You know what I mean? You work your tail off to get that. So that's what I mean about the foundation of where you grow up and how you raise. And it don't have to be your mother or your father. It could be your aunt. It could be your sister. It could be your brother. It could be your uncle. You understand what I'm saying? And that's the generation. I think that's what we missing in this generation because they see, man, this dude right here going to be a first rounder one day and he getting $250,000 in high school. Now, I ain't going to tell him nothing. He can do what he want to do.
Yeah.
But all that's going to do is hurt him. That's a crutch.
Yeah.
That thing's crippled them. And now when they get out into society, and now they don't understand the difference between right and wrong. And you know what I mean? So I'm just saying, I think a lot of that has to do with how you raise, and people get caught up in trying to cater to a person that's the breadwinner, opposed to being honest and open with them because of something that you went through. Yeah. You know what I mean? You know how OG used to tell us back in the day, man, you can't tell me nothing I ain't seen. And I used to laugh at that. But now, when I tell youngers that, I'll be like, man, come on, man.
Yeah, I've seen all this. I know.
Come on, man. Like, what we talking about? I don't care what, you know what I mean? Now, I am glad and grateful that we ain't have social media back in our day because Claw, have mercy.
Bro, I can remember playing.
They probably had all kinds of no emojis in my family.
Playing Dallas in 1990, Thursday night, and my dad was at the game. And my brother, who did a lot of wrong,
right,
was trying to like, yo, man, my dad said, you give him some money, we're going to have problems. I'm like, yo, Dad, he said, nah.
Yeah.
He had money, he messed it up.
Yeah, he messed it up.
He said,
don't help him out.
He had money before he left. He went out there, he probably did something wrong with it.
Don't help him out.
And I'm an NFL player. And when my dad said, you give him some money, you're going to have issues. I ain't giving no money. Because I still
but
had
that was your big brother,
respect. Right? All of them bigger than me.
So he know about that. But that was your big brother.
Yeah, a level of respect. When my dad said that better not happen, it didn't happen. Although I was a man in my own house and stuff like that, I was like, hey, bro, you heard what Dad said. I can't do it. And he was like, man, you just like him. Yep, I am. And you need to be like him because you'll have some money.
Hey, the better athlete that your child is, the more you need to tell them the truth.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's a reason why he said what he said about Jalen Daniels' mother. So, because we don't have a clue. I mean, listen, man. I used to tell my sons this all the time. Life is like a lot different out of this household. I said, the world is unforgiving. I said, listen, they're not going to tell you the truth out there. I'm going to tell you the truth in here. And when you go out there, you got to take heed to that. People are going to look you in your face and tell you one thing and do something completely different. And trust me, I know that. And I harped on that. And I always told them the things that they needed to hear. I mean, not because it came from my pops, you know what I'm saying? But I'm like, listen, this is what it is. And if you see my sons to this day, they all both productive. Well, all unproductive, but I'm talking about the ones I really, they doing exactly what they supposed to do. And it's all because of the things that you instilled in them when they're young. Like I mean, it might not be easy for them to hear. And some of their friends might be like, man, your pops go so hard. But at the end of the day, it's about them and their future. You know what I mean? Have you ever been around some dudes when you was young and they could do whatever they wanted to do in their household? And you was like, man, we're going to go to so-and-so house, man. Her mother don't care what they do. Yeah. And then you become a grown-up and you be like, they had some terrible parents. Like they, you know what I mean? They let us do whatever but when you young and you in the midst of it, you're like, man, shit, solid.
When I went to their house, all they do what they want to do, I remember. You go to these people's house, you better I said, man, just see in my
take off your hat, said, man, be respectful to their mother.
That's how I would disrespect her. If I walk down
these kids are disrespectful, but I just said parents is lacking.
To anybody in the time that got back to my dad.
Yeah, the parents is lacking now, man. Like, you know,
my dad put the gloves on.
Yeah, and I'm not knocking the good parents out there because I know it's still some out there that's rep. But it's a lot, man. It's trying to be their kids' friend and not their parents.
But like the question that was like, what are y'all doing in the community? I'm just gonna say, you can Google my name and see all the stuff I'm doing. Because I think too many times people put the pressure and the onus on the athlete.
Yeah.
When that onus should be on household, family members, communities, and it move out. And that's how you get that thing taken.
I never have a problem with talking to kids and them. Nothing. When it comes to kids, elderly folks, that's like my, you know, I'm gonna go ahead and always show them love. You know what I mean? So it's just a different time, man. It's definitely different.
So look, we have went over. I got two more questions back there. You're trying to get to me.
Go ahead.
If it is, you need to bring them to me so we can ask. We got that already.
Yeah,
I got that.
Yeah,
I did that. So this is what I want to do. As we know, y'all know I keep it real on the podcast. Sometimes I try to accommodate everybody. Like I told you, sometimes you're gonna put questions in, I'll miss them, and I don't do it on purpose. We be coming in from YouTube, LinkedIn, we coming in from Facebook, and I'm telling you, I love everybody, and all of y'all questions are important. Next time, and I'm sure that I'm gonna ask these guys to come back because I sat here and enjoyed this tremendously. But what I want y'all to know is that sometimes we just get having fun and time get by. So with that said, I want to take this time to really thank both of y'all for coming out because this was really, really a pleasure, more so for me than probably my viewers. And that's to be in the presence of y'all and have y'all. And I get to do this in private time as well. But and Brian, I know your schedule. That you be doing your shows and stuff like that. Shep, I already know how you do on a regular, man. I sometimes got to catch you going to McDonald's so I can get some time in. But no, I just want to tell you both, thank you for coming in and giving the viewers this opportunity and me as well. And no, I ain't lying. Yeah. They know who I'm talking about out there. But
you can't stop the haters, baby. Hey, people gonna be negative. You got that part. You know what I mean?
People, and I
all you gotta do is just read comments. You be like, damn, bro.
I do want to say this, and this is something I was listening, and I told you I sit back and absorb everything. I've been doing this for a little while. A lot of people been wondering why I've been struggling. I refuse to go and try to be like what they want me to be. I'm just doing what God put in my spirit. When I come to the table, I want to bring something that's going to help enlighten people. Right. So I stick to my slogan, people to people, power to power, positive people. So I don't want to talk about all the negative things that's going to get me a lot of ratings. I do want a lot of ratings.
I get you.
But what I really want to do
is help somebody.
I want to help somebody. And I can say that I think that y'all have done that tremendously with everything that y'all have done in your career. Man, kudos to you. To all your viewers, next time I'm gonna set it up that we can get them back in, and maybe they bring somebody else. I don't know. But at the same time,
I still ain't did the date night. I've been married 33 years, but I still I know a little something. Hey, trust me, man. Marriage is the hardest thing I ever did.
And y'all know that's what we do.
We
do Friday date night, so I'm gonna put that out there for them too as well. But again, kudos to everybody. I send peace and blessings to you. And all I can just tell you, for real, it starts at home. You can't expect these gentlemen who put their work in. They got their own problems. And I'm not saying that they don't do and give back to the community because all you got to do is just look around. Yeah. I'm telling you, you see what they do. But at the same time, we have to take the responsibility on ourselves and be accountable for our actions. Yeah. And I say this before we shut it out. Let me tell you something. If you're sitting around in the house and everybody in there smoking cigarettes, right? And you got a little kid, 3 or 4, 5 of them walking through there, here and there, and you think they're not paying attention, but they inhaling the smoke, right? Or they smelling the nicotine. Guess what? Out of those little kids, few of them going to be smoking. So what I'm telling you is this. If you're going to be having them in your presence, make sure what you're giving them is something that they're going to be able to look at and use to move forward. So we don't blame everybody else for the traumas and dramas when they get out in the street. Because the street will educate them.
Kids do what they see, not what you say.
That's right. Yeah. So when we're talking about the celebrities who's gotten out there, who achieved their goals, we cannot hold them responsible. I used to be mad with Steve Harvey, but now Steve Harvey is like a hero to me because I see him putting that work in. I looked at Tyler Perry. I was just watching some of his work the other day, seeing the struggles. All of these individuals had their own trials and tribulations to deal with, and that's the same thing with these NFL players and basketball players. And we talking about all these individuals who out there putting that work in. So I send peace and blessings to you. You got 30 seconds, Shep, to say something. Brian, 30 seconds, and we out of here.
Well, like you just said, to piggyback on what you said, what somebody do in an instant should not be their existence. Like, give people a pass and let people do what they do. But I love you, bro. Man, you know what I mean? You mean the world to me. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep motivating people. Keep giving people positive feedback, man. It's a lot of people that do a lot of things in this world for money and finances. You doing it just for peace of mind and have people to feel better about who they are as a person and moving forward. So, man, I commend you for that. Love you, bro.
I will tell you this: you don't have to try to be perfect. Just go out there and do something. everybody, I mean, you can learn from anybody, no matter if the people have done some bad in their life or done everything good. Everybody can be a teacher to you. So don't shut off people just because they may not be what people tell you is a celebrity. Exactly. When people have some information for you, listen to it, especially if they're older. Those people have been through things. Like my daddy always said, I made mistakes so you don't have to make them. Understand when somebody's coming to you to talk to you, they're trying to help you, not harm you.
Yeah. A homeless person can give you some advice on the side of a corner if you just listen to them. Trust me.
It's people to people, power to power, positive thinking people. PTP, baby. That's how we do it.
My man. Yeah.